you to go to Raw and tell them never to come back here. Okay?
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Reign. TBK, the Turnbuckle King, is here. We're here to talk about WWE Friday Night SmackDown review. And we're here also to talk about SmackDown. 2 title matches, Bloodline, Judgment Day appear. Get the likes of as you come into the ring. And of course, we here live on Facebook and X. We'll be there for a limited time only. And also, we have the bonus round coming up. And we're going to talk about Alexa Bliss returning soon. So something you definitely want to check out. You guys don't want to miss it. Let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about it. So before we do begin and get into anything else, let's do a real simple thing. You guys already know what part I'm getting to right now, and it's called double tapping the screen. Real simple, real easy, and it goes a little something like this.
Not real.
Trust me.
But that doesn't do anything, man.
All right, let's double tap that screen, get the likes as we come in. We are going to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. But let's see who came to the ring before we begin. Mr. Goodberry Reaction, we got you. Salute to you. And before we do begin, let's go over the SmackDown match card as advertised. See what matches were advertised for the night. We got Roman Reigns making an appearance on SmackDown. It's always a pleasure when WWE gets Roman Reigns on SmackDown due to his part-time schedule. Then we have a match. We have 2 title matches, actually. We got LA Knight defending the United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes. And then we do have a women's tag team match of Bianca, Belair, and Jade Cargill defend the women's tag team championships against, for the first time ever on SmackDown, debut from the NXT brand, Lash legend and Jakara Jackson. So you guys look over there for a couple moments and then we'll start. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about SmackDown. We kicked off the show. We had Jimmy Uso returning to SmackDown. He actually kicked off the show. His music hit, the crowd's going crazy. Now, we know he recently just returned to WWE at Bad Blood, attacking the Bloodline. Last time we saw Jimmy on SmackDown was back in May, a little shortly after Roman Reigns lost his title at WrestleMania, and he was taken out by Solo, and then the new Bloodline that was formed of Tama Tonga's debut. And then, of course, Solo continued to run the Bloodline like he's doing now, but he did come out. He came out to talk to the crowd, and he said that, he's back. He said that his brother, he has a one-on-one match against Solo. And he said that he's ready to teach him, big brother, little brother scenario. He talked about that. And then he also talked about as well how he was going to get payback on Solo. He said, you call Solo coward, call him that he could did to his face. He was just going in on Solo. And before he go any further, then we get Roman appearing. Roman came out. And Roman came out and he's told the crowd, he had the crowd hyped up, saying to acknowledge Big Jimmy Uso. And he told him that then he's calling a new tribal chief and said they're no longer the ones. Because Jimmy Uso saying they're no longer the ones, they can't be dominated, can't be stopped. And then Roman said, they need to get back to prominence. They was holding down all the championships. They was dominating the whole WWE. Did it for 4 years. The original Bloodline, Jimmy and Jade and Roman and Solo later on. So, and of course, the wise man Paul Heyman. But Roman rejected the idea, saying that Uso said he had no tribe and all that, because he said, Roman, you don't have a tribe no more. But other than that, though, this was a good way to kick off the show of SmackDown. So we did have that going on. And then after these two we had our first match of the night after this segment was over. We had LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes in a championship match for the United States Championship. Now, this was a solid match between these two. I like this matchup. Carmelo actually got some offense in here. He was not completely dominated by LA Knight, so I admired that part. I liked how they were doing that in the match. I like how Carmelo got some near falls. I liked how it was definitely getting good. But I knew that, LA Knight, once he down, he comes back. Then we had an appearance by Andrade. He was taunting Melo. Melo's losing his focus, and it caused LA Knight to get the advantage. And as Carmelo's going to come down off the top rope, LA Knight reversed it. Then I like the part where Carmelo jumped up, but he reversed as he got behind LA Knight. The LA Knight immediately hit him with the BFT. And then afterwards, Andrade mocked Carmelo, saying, "Put the fries in the bag, you're washed." It was funny. Funny. And this match, I would say, give it a yeet. This was definitely a good one.
Yeet.
This was good between these two. Now we saw Andrade before get his United States Championship match, and Carmelo mocked him, and it was only fitting that Andrade was going to mark Melo for losing as well. So that was definitely interesting. But later on, Nick Aldis announced with Carmelo that he see that the feud with Andrade is not over. So there will be a best of 7 official game 7, as Nick Aldis told Carmelo. We will get a Melo versus Andrade in a 7th match. And he said whoever win that match will get opportunity at LA Knight again. Because Andrade and Melo both had an opportunity at LA Knight already. Then I know also Santos Escobar won an opportunity. And Nick Aldis told me you had an opportunity already as well. This may end up being a 4-way match. LA Knight versus Melo versus LA Knight versus Santos, or a triple threat. Like I said before, a few weeks ago, it could be Melo versus Andrade versus LA Knight for his United States Championship. But this was a very good match, though. Very good match. Felicio, salute to you for Facebook. But this was the first match of the night. So, good for these guys kicking off the match. Let's get on to the next match, shall we? Next match of the evening, we had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defend the women's tag team titles against Lash legend and Jakara Jackson, debuting on SmackDown for the first time. This was announced on NXT, as I say in my NXT review, that Lash and Jakara called this shot. They want a shot at Bianca and Jade for their titles. And Bianca said, if you want to face us, you come to our turf. You will come to SmackDown, we'll not come to you. Because, Bianca and Jade was just on NXT 2 weeks in a row, literally. So it made sense for them to come here to gain exposure of Jakara and Lash. However, we saw Chelsea and Piper talk, they came out to ringside. But I gotta say, this match was very, very mediocre, because it was, for one, it was interrupted by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens came out and explained why he turned on Cody Rhodes, saying that I didn't turn on Cody, Cody turned on me, and hold the interaction with Randy Orton with the officials. Then later on, this match was literally real quick and real fast, so there wasn't much to say about this match. It just showed that Jakara and Lash was on SmackDown. Next match, let's get on to the next match of the show, shall we? Let's get on to that. Now, we did have a segment of this was Naomi versus Nia Jax. While while Nia Jax was talking garbage in the ring, we had an appearance from Liv Morgan, the rest of Judgment Day, and Raquel Rodriguez and Dominic Mysterio. They came out, with teasing talking about the whole champion versus champion at Crown Jewel women's and men's division. So we have Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. That was talked about, of course. But Nia said she's going to dominate Liv. She's going to do her thing. And Liv Morgan, she disagreed, obviously. But we had a match here. And this was a solid match as well. Now, Naomi and Nia, they was basically teasing a feud there of a match, which they did have. And Naomi is tired of it. And she gave Nia a go for money, but Nia was dominating. However, Nia was distracted by Judgment Day. You had Raquel standing there. You had the rest of Judgment Day standing there. And at one point, Raquel Rodriguez took Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank contract. And while Nia was on the top rope to do her finisher on Naomi, she was attacked by Liv Morgan, took the briefcase from Raquel to hit her with the briefcase, and Naomi got up. She rolled up Nia, and she got a pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jackson was defeated by Naomi. Naomi defeated the WWE Women's Champion. Then later on, it was Nia got her hands on Liv because Rhea Ripley came out. Later on, she also showed up from Raw to SmackDown. Then Nia tried to get her hands on Liv. And Rhea kicked Nia out the ring. And it was just wild. But this was a very unexpected turn. And it was a very good match of Nia and Naomi. Definitely was not expected Liv Morgan and the rest of Judgment Day to show up. It definitely was not expected Rhea Ripley. So this was a very good unexpected moment and a very good match, I might add. So let's get on to the next segment of that. Let's get on to that. Then we had the main event here. We have Solo versus Jimmy 1-on-1. And also this is the whole interaction of Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. This was interrupted during the Jakara Jackson match. Just want to notate that was going on as well. Definitely something not everybody wanted to see, but this is definitely heating up. This feud alone is heating up because it all started with Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes back in Bad Blood during the press conference. Cody Rhodes, of course, he wants answers. Kevin Owens felt like he was betrayed by Cody. Then when Orton gets in the middle of it, he attacks Kevin Owens. It's just one thing after another. This whole storyline is going to be very, very fun, I should say. Very fun. Very fun to see what they're going to do next with these guys. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next with Kevin Owens, Cody, and Randy will be involved as well. I stated that. He will be involved. RP, do not count out Randy Orton. He is the Viper for a reason. He's definitely showing signs of a heel turn. He kept telling Cody and Kevin he will handle things. And Randy Orton ended up getting attacked by Kevin Owens backstage. And Nick Aldis called for officials to break that up. Then also, too, Cody left for the night. He went on his bus. And Randy told him, get up out of here. Let me handle it. And we know something's up Randy when he wants to handle everything. He's the voice of reason. This is Randy Orton, the Viper, Apex Predator. I hear voices in my head. I don't think so. You're not that guy to do that. Come on, Randy. You're not fooling us. You're not fooling us by a long shot. Not by a long shot. We're going to keep an eye on Randy Orton and the rest of this whole storyline. This is going to be very interesting. That being said, let's get on to the main event. Main event is Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso. This is Jimmy Uso's first match back on SmackDown, and he main evented. Now this match here is I like Jimmy Uso. Not the most athletic, but he did everything he could to keep everything going. Later on the match, we saw that the OTC was getting involved. You know they was gonna get involved no matter what. Let's be honest here. We knew the OTC was gonna get involved, and we knew Roman Reigns would come down get involved. But long story short, in this match, it was Solo Sikoa who defeated Jimmy Uso, and Solo he's being built. But you know Roman and Jimmy did everything they could to take out the bloodline, but to no avail. Bloodline shut them down, and it ended up leaving Roman and Jimmy in the middle of the ring. And Jimmy told Roman as the show was closing, we need to call him Uso. We need some help. Are they talking about Jay Uso, whoever else more help they need? Because it's only 2 on 4, and you're going to need some more backup in order to even the playing field. Well, that was the end of SmackDown, though. Rosie and Broski and Rose, salute to you. But yeah, that is the end of SmackDown. That closed out the show. Let's go over the rating on SmackDown. What do I rate this show? I don't know what I see, but that was the end of it, though. We're gonna see what else happens in the storyline. Let's go over the rating real quick. Now we got Roman Reigns. He made his appearance. We have a main event: Jimmy Uso and Solo, Carmelo in LA Knight. It was a tag team match. Titles of Bianca Jade defending against Jakara and Lash. We came from NXT. If I had to give it a rating, 4.5 out of 5. It was a very, very good show. I like the appearance from Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day and Rhea to help, tease the whole cash in, possibly on Tiffany cashing in on Nia. That's interesting. That was good to see. I also like the whole Roman Jimmy. That story's getting very intriguing. And of course, one of the bigger storylines, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and now Randy Orton. Kevin Owens not just attacking Cody, but now he's attacking Randy. So Kevin Owens, it's going to be a Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. All of them three are going to be feuding over the WWE title. They'll be feuding. Probably a Royal Rumble. I'm calling it right now. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. Anyway, this was a very good show. Very surprised by the appearances, but I give it a 4.5 out of 5. This was a very solid show. Very solid show. I like how the story was built. It seemed like it was going by fast too. I like the no take that. Very fast. But, since I got the rating in the bag, that's in the books. Now let's go over what went wrong with SmackDown, and I'll also go over some other news, and then we'll get to bonus round shortly after this. Now, one of the things I saw wrong with SmackDown, and I'm gonna go over a few things. Even despite it being a good show, we gonna go over some issues that I saw in this episode. Some things I was like, really, this what we doing? Kind of moments there, pretty much. Yeah, very solid show. You 4.5, very good. What's some things I didn't like about it? One thing is, what's the use of a draft? What do I mean by that? If you guys look in this past week, we have had all superstars from each brand appear on each other's shows. On Raw, we had Cody Rhodes appear at the end of Raw to tease the whole Gunther match. I get it's for the crown jewel match. I get that, but still show up on Raw. I think, and I'll get to more about that. Then Tuesday, we had Jay Uso for Raw appearing on NXT. Yeet. And then Friday Night SmackDown, we have Jakara and Lash appearing on SmackDown for the Women's Tag Team title match. So with that being said, what is the use of the draft? You're going to have everybody on each brand not stay on their respective shows and appear on other shows. And Cody Rhodes, speaking of which, he's appeared on a couple NXT episodes as well. So it ain't just him coming from SmackDown to Raw only. He's been on NXT. What's the use of a draft if we're going to do this? Because I see this every draft every year. They have a draft. They barely draft anybody to a new show. Everybody get drafted to the same show. That's already a negative. And then they appear on each other's shows. Come on. Then of course we have the Liv Morgan, and we have the Liv Morgan. We have the Rhea, and then the Judgment Day. All of that. I mean, all of that happened in the same episode, guys. All of that happened. I mean, I am all bugging. Now, we see this all the time. All the time we see this. This is not a coincidence, people. This happens too much. Just way too much. You know, like enough is enough at this point, you know? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We see this way too much on these shows. Way too much on these shows. I mean, every time I look up, we do have someone else from another brand come on somebody else's show. Every time I look and see that, every time. This is not just something I'm just saying to be saying. This actually does happen more often than we think, and definitely more often than it should be. So I just see that's just a current, it's just an issue there. It's just an issue there. I know it's a little too much there. It's a little too much. We see this way too much. We have seen all these people appear on each other's shows for the past week. We just see this way too much. And with that being said, you know what list I got with this song, right? And it's definitely going there. It's going there.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So yeah, this is just a little redundant. And if they're gonna do this every often enough, then just get rid of the brand split and just keep it just keep everybody on one show. So I said in the brand split. Hashtag in brand split. I mean, you should if you're gonna do things this way. Hashtag in brand split. Just do it. Just do it. If you're gonna do it that way, please do. But that's one thing I did notice on this recent episode of SmackDown. I thought it was too much. Toga, salute to you. Let's go. What else went wrong with SmackDown? What happened to Blair Davenport? Do you guys remember her? You guys remember Blair Davenport? Blair Davenport is someone who was drafted from NXT to SmackDown earlier this year. She's supposed to be on SmackDown often, and we barely see her. Now, last time I saw Blair Davenport, she was aligned with the Unholy Union, the former women tag team champions, in the names of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who have been on, I think they was on Raw. They've been on TV, but not Blair. So again, it retracts to what I said before. What's the use of a draft? Not only people appearing on each other's shows, but also with the draft, why draft people if you're never going to have them on TV hardly? What's the purpose of doing that? And again, we already know where this is going.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, what's the use of having Blair Davenport and other people that are drafted and you barely show them on TV? I think it's a waste of time. Giovanni, another guy, well, he's rebranded. He ain't drafted, but he's rebranded. And this is where we're going to see releases happen, unfortunately. Hopefully that's not the case for Blair, but we'll see what happens next in the future. Let's go over what else happened on what went wrong with SmackDown. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson match was interrupted and the match was short. If you guys remember that. Because remember, they had their match. This match was Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend going against Bianca and Jade. Remember this match? But it was interrupted by Kevin Owens cutting a promo, then the whole interaction with Cody being broken up by Fish and Randy Orton, as I stated earlier. And then they had a quick, 2-3 minute match? And this is supposed to be the debut of that? And I'm saying that because this match was short and I think was And actually just did a video on this yesterday, and you could tell this was pressure from the media and from the corporate America. My opinion, I think this was Triple H. His response to the Bad Blood press conference that he did, talking about representing, excuse me, black wrestlers representing on PLEs and other TV. Remember, he was asked of not enough blacks are represented on any TV or PLEs of sort. And I think Triple H just rushed to get this match real together to shut the fans up. That's what I believe happened. Now, it could be me just saying that, but I do see something's weird here. Why was this pushed like that? Don't you guys find that kind of weird though? This is a very quick match. It wasn't long at all. And I think this was just done to not upset the fans. And it was offensive to Jakara and Lash. Why was they match only less than 5 minutes? What was the whole purpose of that? So I think it was a response to that. I really think that's the I think that's why this happened. It wasn't for that, I don't think they would have been on SmackDown. I don't think they went down. And fans are starting to see that online. You already know what this goes on, guys. We know where this is going.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So that's another thing I saw wrong with SmackDown. No good at all. Not one bit. Now, those were the three things I saw. Yeah, other than that, SmackDown, we end up talking about SmackDown, WWE SmackDown 2 title matches, Bloodline just they appear. And we're talking about this whole situation here. Rated SmackDown, great show. Well, let's go over some other news that's going on in the wrestling world today. This is reported maybe a few hours earlier. Now, we had a backstage report, and it said on a relation between AEW's MVP and Chris Jericho. It says here, reportedly, word spread backstage and among AEW talent that on MVP first night in AEW, he went straight to Chris Jericho's locker room. While specifics of their conversation were disclosed, those within AEW said that past issues were resolved and won't be a problem going forward. MVP was praised by numerous backstage for addressing the issue directly. MVP and Jericho have been seen interacting backstage since then, including last week's Dynamite. Now, we know there was some definitely beef between Jericho and MVP. They have had some history, guys. If you guys didn't notice, there's some history between these two. Reportedly back in 2020, it was said that MVP and Jericho had a little altercation. And it said it did not end too well for Jericho. Not so much MVP, but Jericho. And I looked, Jericho really, I know, Jericho, he talks about when he fights someone and he gets the upper hand. However, he does not mention this story on his podcast. He doesn't mention this story that much. And I found that very interesting, to say the least. And Jericho runs his mouth about everything else, but he did not want to go into that when it came to between himself and MVP, because he did not get the upper hand when it came to that situation. But I heard that they admit offenses now. They're not beefing so much. They're not beefing anymore at all, and they're cool backstage. But this is weird though. But yeah, I know MVP has talked about this. He has talked about this as well. He said, I think he said on an interview with Chris Van Fleet, he discussed this as well. So he actually confirmed the rumors because it was floating around. Like I said, it was about a cruise Jericho had. It was 2020 during COVID, but he actually pretty much confirmed it without. He said it without even saying it. If you know what I mean. If you guys remember.
Microphones here.
And it's true. It's true.
So that's MVP confirming that the rumors between himself and Jericho are true. They really did have beef, and he put his fist up stating that he got the upper hand on Chris Jericho. So that's the funny part about that. He definitely got over on him. He definitely gave him that work. He gave him that work for real. He was not playing around. He gave him some work.
You about to get that work, son.
But now I'm glad that they're able to mend fences. I'm glad Chris Jericho and MVP are on the same page. They're on good terms. That they were even talking backstage. So that's a good thing between these two men because let's be honest. MVP is what, 50, 51. Jericho's 53, going on 54, something like that. You're going to have two 50-plus-year-old men fighting backstage. Come on, man. That's not good at all. That's way too immature. That's the point you need to grow up. So I don't think that it needs to come to the blows between those two men. Both of these men have done great work in their careers. Both of these men have been in wrestling business for a long time. That's the last thing they have time for is silly nonsense. That's the last thing they have time for. So I don't expect anything else to happen. But I think they'll be fine. And Jericho, remember MVP is I think he's like he's jiu-jitsu. I think he's like a black belt or something. He knows this ain't regular MVP fighting, so Jericho knows what time it is when it comes to MVP. I just want to say that. So don't sleep on MVP. I read that about him. While he wasn't wrestling, he was practicing. What do they call it? Jiu-jitsu. He knows that stuff, and I think he knows martial arts. He knows MMA, all that stuff. Do not sleep on MVP. This ain't no regular guy you going up against. He'll give you that work for real. And I think Jericho knew that firsthand 4 years ago, which hence why I'm pretty sure he's glad that the beef is squashed between himself and MVP. At this point, now that they're in the same company again, this time AEW, not WWE. So that's what we do not want between these two gentlemen. Is another fist fight over nothing. That's what we don't want. So I'm glad the MVP, took it upon himself to step to Jericho. Told him what's good. Let's squash this nonsense. We don't need to act like little children back here. Because we definitely don't want to see another media scrum all out 2022. The CM Punk, the Elite. We don't want to see that. So I'm glad these men have. I'm glad they've grown up and they're not saying we're not doing that. So that shows maturity and mad respect. I will say that to say the least. So I'm glad we're not going to have any of that nonsense between MVP and Jericho because we don't need it. We just don't need that kind of crap in the locker room. So exactly, figure 4. No more AW backstage crap. No more of that. No more nonsense. No more drama. None of that. Too old. You got to grow up sometime. Sometime you got to grow up between, if you're going to be gentlemen about it, be gentlemen about it. Don't be whiners. Don't be crybabies. Because we know IWC, they see the wrestlers whining. They ain't going to never let that go. Let's be honest. They'll never let that go. For life, they're never going to let that go. So, good, Chris Jericho. You don't go on the list. That's one thing I will say. You don't have to go on your own list. You're good. You're solid. There's nothing else needs to be done. Because, MVP probably be there for a few years. Chris Jericho, he says he's never going to retire, but we know Chris Jericho's slowing down at this point in his career. So that's the last thing either of these men should be thinking about. You don't want 2024 and beyond to be like 2020 all over again. That's what we don't want as a whole. So I'm glad these men squashed it. But that's all I have with the whole backstage report relation between AEW's MVP and Chris Jericho. And also, we do have some more news. We have some more news here before we do get to the bonus round. This is about what happened on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton is coming to Monday Night Raw. Now, this was a backstage segment of Nia Jax and, well, not Tiffany so much being interviewed, but Nia Jax being interviewed by Byron Saxton backstage on SmackDown Lowdown. She said that she has sent Tiffany Stratton to go to Monday Night Raw to get revenge on the Judgment Day. They came in and they was not so good to Nia Jax. So she gonna get back at Liv Morgan, all of them. She gonna basically have pushback for him, but she's not gonna do it. She's gonna send Tiffany. I don't know if Tiffany's gonna be with Nia, but they did say that in the interview backstage, if you guys remember, or if you are even aware of it, because the dirt sheets and all that's gonna say it later. But especially Tiffany Stratton at Monday Night Raw.
You to go to Raw and tell them never to come back here. Okay?
So there it is. Nia sent Tiffany to Raw. She will make an appearance on Monday Night Raw. She's gonna let Judgment Day know. Don't ever come back there again. And that's it for that. We are in of the bone. We had it. Round one is over. SmackDown's covered. The rating. 2 title matches. Bloodline. We went over the rating. Went over current news. Went over the MVP Jericho story. With that being said, let's switch gears. Let's get to the bonus round. Let's talk about Alexa Bliss. Let's talk about her getting ready for her return very, very soon. And you guys stay with me. We will get to this momentarily. And let's get started. And also, we are going to end things on X and Facebook. You want to check out more? Come on to Red Carpet Ring. All right, guys, we are here. We're talking about Alexa Bliss now. She is set to return. There's a report saying that she's going to come back to WWE very soon. I know she has been working out. She's been training, and we know she has not been seen in a while. I know with Alexa Bliss, with her whole having her being a mother, having her child. I know it said too that she had to take time off, go on maternity leave, and she also had to get her stuff together. So with that being said, I know recently she left an Instagram message, and this is what the message read. And this was on, I think, let's see. It said, for all the questions in my comments, yes, I will be returning. If you guys don't know, I'll show this was definitely her account. If you look up there, it says up there at the top. If you look at the very top, guys, she is talking about her account. That's Alexa Bliss account. You probably can't see it from the top all the way. But she said, for all the questions in my comments, yes, I will be returning. But for now, please enjoy my current content. So with that being said, since Alexa Bliss put this on her Instagram page, since this was on there, it's safe to say that we will expect to see Alexa Bliss very, very soon on WWE. We're going to see her very soon. Now, I know she shows pictures of her family, her, going in the outings and everything like that. But we're going to see her in WWE soon. The question is when, and the question is where. What event will it be? We don't know. because the last time Alexa was seen is at the 2023 Royal Rumble. I know last thing I remember her being, she was involved in a feud. She was challenging then Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair at the Royal Rumble for the Women's Championship. I know that they had a match also on Raw for that title. Alexa challenged Bianca twice for the championship. This is when she was started transition into her character similar to Bray Wyatt, but she didn't have the makeup on. She was attacking Bianca. She's nice that she'll switch over. It's like pretty much a split personality. But however, she did not. She became unsuccessful short, as I said before, and she had a good rivalry going on with Bianca because her and Bianca were tag teaming with each other. They were good allies. But Alexa started, turning on Bianca or show shades of it. And she even attacked her on one episode of Monday Night Raw. They had a solid match at the Royal Rumble. It wasn't too long, but after that, that was the last match she had because she had her daughter, I think, the end of last year. So I think her daughter's about to be a year old now. That's the last time we saw Alexa Bliss at in WWE. We haven't seen her since then. Like I said, been pretty much trying to keep herself together and everything else. But we know that everything else will be good once she comes back. I'm pretty sure Alexa Bliss is going to, do what she gotta do as far as that goes. But we gotta see, when is she gonna come back into WWE? We gotta know when's the next time that's gonna happen. Um, that's the question. It could be any given time she comes back. Could be any given time for that matter. It could be a Royal Rumble. It could be a Survivor Series. I don't see it being a Crown Jewel. She's gonna come back at some point. I don't know. That's the question. We don't know when she's gonna make her return, but expect her to make a return at some given point because it could be her dark character or her regular character. I expect Alexa Bliss to make a good return. She can return Survivor Series, just similar to what CM Punk and Randy Orton did this past year in Chicago. They could just show up. They could be a last minute person for the women's War Games match, or just show up like CM Punk did, no match and make an appearance. Randy Orton made an appearance and actually wrestled, or they could have Alexa Bliss come back at the Royal Rumble. She could enter at the Royal Rumble. She can, I don't know what number she would appear in, but she could do that too. And maybe get close to winning. Who to say? Maybe she win the Royal Rumble. Who to say that? I'm not saying that will be the end all be all, but maybe that could be a possibility that Alexa just wins the Royal Rumble altogether, or she could be a very good surprise appearance, very good surprise one. I'm not going to deny that, not at all, not one bit. But I would love to see what the next move is going to be for Alexa Bliss. As we know, we also have Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch also returning, and Shotzi. I forgot about her as well. So it's her and three other women that are poised to come back. Charlotte Flair is going to come back probably sooner than all of them. Becky Lynch still taking time off. Shotzi, another one healing from recovery. But Alexa Bliss is, I would say, alongside Charlotte Flair, she's definitely one of the top two that will be returned to WWE sooner, who were on maternity leave or taking time off or healing back from an injury. Because we have plenty of women out. We have those four right there, and you can add Carmelo to the mix, who also had a baby similar to Alexa Bliss. So it could go either way, honestly. Either way it could go. Alexa Bliss, if I had to guess when she should come back, it's kind of uncertain right now. It could either way could go well because we don't know what brand Alexa Bliss is going to be on. She could be on Raw, however, she could be on SmackDown. But her return at either event of Survivor Series or Royal Rumble will be amazing. The fans would definitely love it, especially our longtime fans. I believe that she could have a lot of dream matches with the newer talent because a lot has changed since Alexa Bliss has been in WWE. The landscape of the women's division has changed drastically. There's a lot more women in WWE, and then there's still some women that's going to debut in WWE as well. We still have Jordan Grace that's slated to show up in WWE as a full time, not as a part of TNA banner, but a full time employee of WWE. We have other women in NXT, Delta coming to NXT. We just got Stephanie and Julia. There's so many women that's showing up at WWE now, and it could be more along the way. But I would love to see what they're going to do more with Alexa Bliss. Oscar said they only push her because she's hot. Okay. A lot of people have said that, Oscar. You're not the first to say that. So, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Alexa, I will say this. She has gotten better over the years compared to when she first started in NXT back in 2013, 2014, whatever year it was. So she's definitely improved compared to the beginning. Now, is Alexa the top 5 of all time women? My opinion, no. But she still want to put in the work. Figure 4 said that she come back win Royal Rumble and challenge Liv Morgan. Like I said, that's a possibility. Her and Liv Morgan are very similar side, very good matchup. They match up very well, similar to how Selena and Liv matched up very well on Raw earlier this year. That would be a good scenario. She wins, surprise entrant number 29, number 30, or number 27, 28. They said with Royal Rumble, whoever enters number 27 is the lucky number to win it all. Or like I said, a later number, and she wins and challenges Liv Morgan at WrestleMania for her Women's World Championship. Whoever's champion at that particular time. So that could be a possibility. Or like I said, she returns in Survivor Series and gets involved in the War Games match, being on the babyface team against the heel team. Facing off against the heel team, she could be on the babyface side alongside the other babyface women in WWE. That could be a good possibility too. Because this year's Survivor Series will be in Vancouver, and we know Royal Rumble will be February 1st in Indianapolis Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. So it could be a very, very well scenarios of what they're going to do with Alexa Bliss next. The woman is definitely got better over the years. Like I said, I don't think Alessa's like the worst performer ever invented. No, I've seen way worse. Remember Lana wrestled? Now that was horrible. She was a horrible wrestler, I would say. She wasn't the best per se. You had a lot of horrible ones. Jillian Hall, not a good performer either, in my opinion. So there's a lot of women that Alexa is better than. Like I said, she's not the best, the GOAT. Now, I'm not going to go far and say that and embarrass myself on here, but she's definitely better than some others as well. But it would be otherwise, other than that, it would be good to see Alexa Bliss back in WWE. It would be good to see her at whatever event it was, because she's been gone for close to 2 years now. She's been gone for a minute now. So it could go either way of how they're going to bring her back into the company. However they see fit. Like I said, when Alexa left, I think Triple H had just taken up creative maybe 5-6 months ago. So a lot of things have changed since then when Alexa was gone. And I can expect to be for the better. So we'll see what happens next with Alexa Bliss. We'll see how she's going to move, how she's going to get to the main roster for her return. I don't know what show she's going to be on, but if I think, like I said, it could be Raw or SmackDown. Or she goes SmackDown win and challenge Tiffany Stratton, or Nia, she's still champion, because her and Nia Jax got a history. It could be either brand that she's on. It don't have to necessarily just be limited to Monday Night Raw only. It could be other ones as well as that. So Well, that it's gonna be heat. It's gonna be a heated one though. Definitely a heated one. She's a H girl from old NXT. That's true. Yeah, from when Triple H originally ran NXT from the very, very beginning stages. Actually, right before Dusty Rhodes passed away. She's from that era. So that could be a good return. But I do know keep your eyes out. Alexa Bliss will be she will be returning very soon. She gonna return soon. Don't be surprised if she just strolls in. Now she could be a heel too. She don't have to necessarily be a baby face. She could be a heel walking into the door as well. Alexa Bliss can come in, attack, let's say attack, for example, Rhea Ripley to help Liv Morgan. But I would say no because we already got Raquel Rodriguez for that. But like I said, I just throwing it out there. She could be a heel as well. But I think Raw and maybe SmackDown as well need more baby faces on the roster because we see more women transitioning to the heel character. We have enough heels, so that could be the case as well. Yeah, definitely no YS6. She would not be a part of YS6. If that's the case, she would have returned already. She already be involved in the storyline. And she would probably be in Nikki Cross's place, who currently is in Y6. That's the only female member of that stable. So if that were to happen, it already would have happened. But I don't think she would go to that. And honestly, if it's more of Nikki Cross than Alexa Bliss for that matter anyway. Let's be honest. It's more fitting to have Alexa be a part of YS6 than I'm sorry, it'd be more fair to have Nikki Cross a part of YS6 than Alexa. Nikki Cross is a better fit compared to Alexa. Alexa's not bad for YS6, but Nikki Cross is more favorable because Nikki Cross walks around dazed and confused, look like she's lost in space. It'll make some more sense to have Nikki there in that role. But Alexa did do good work being with Bray Wyatt. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm saying if I had to pick one, who would be better for the YS6 as the female stable member, I would pick Nikki over Alexa. But yeah, but we're gonna see Alexa Bliss very, very soon. I know we're so focused on Charlotte and Becky. We keep forgetting about Alexa Bliss. And of course, we got Liv Morgan's women's champion. And other than that, that's all I have regarding Alexa Bliss set to return. We are talking about Alexa Bliss currently going to return soon to WWE. We don't know when, but it's very, very soon. And she said in her Instagram message, guys, she will be returning. She already confirmed it. And so that's definitely going to happen at some point. Who should Y6 feud with next? Can you do a video on that? Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, we can look into that. I don't know who they're going to feud with, but we could definitely look into that. Appreciate that. Figure 4. We are here done the bonus round. We're talking about Alexa Bliss at the return. When and where, we don't know. Speculation Royal Rumble, speculation Survivor Series. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate the support. We are got 2 more PLEs for the year. Crown Jewel, November 2nd. And Survivor Series, which will be the 30th of November. And then for main roster PLEs, that's it to Royal Rumble. Then, of course, NXT Halloween Havoc, October 27th. Soon to be able to pop up. You guys click the links below to the content. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. You guys already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.
Like I say this a lot, we're not a sport, we're a movie about a sport or a TV show about a sport, right? So the interest of all the other,
I feel like the heel turn did wonders for me. There was a sense of reality in that to where I had hit a point and the babyface stuff was going great. The Alpha Academy stuff was going great. We had a blast with that. But I'm a realist and I'm also like a long-term thinker.